Welcome, everyone. Tonight, I'm about to share a story so chilling, so full of suspense, that it will make you question every late-night call, every sudden plea for help, and even the trust you place in your own family. It begins at 2 a.m., that hour when the world is asleep, and the shadows seem a little darker. My phone rang, piercing the silence like a knife. The screen showed my son's number. I picked up immediately, my heart thumping. His voice, shaky, panicked, trembling as though the walls themselves were collapsing around him, pleaded for help. "Mom, Dad, I need $25,000. It's urgent. The hospital, they won't help her unless—" He choked on his words, gasping, desperation pouring through the line. Instinctively, panic surged through me. My husband, equally alarmed, froze beside me. The instinct to help, to protect, to save our family, was immediate. I could feel the guilt pressing in, a crushing weight that made my mind race. But then, a faint whisper of doubt crept in. Something wasn't right. My son's tone was off. Too rehearsed, too theatrical. And the urgency? Almost too perfect. We decided to pause, to think. That's when the first layer of the nightmare peeled away. My husband whispered, "What if this isn't really him?" My stomach turned over. Could it be a scam? But who would? Then reality hit like a punch to the gut. What if this was someone we trusted? Someone close? We began quietly, carefully, collecting information. My husband checked the security cameras, replaying every footage around the time the call came in. The hospital number he gave didn't exist. The voice on the call had subtle differences, intonations that no loving son could mimic perfectly, but a skilled fraudster could. And then, the impossible truth started to surface. It wasn't just some random scam. One of our family members, someone we had always trusted, was involved. And they weren't alone. An accomplice, someone from outside our family, was orchestrating a scheme designed to strip us of our assets, to gain control over our finances, our legal power, everything we had built. The betrayal cut deeper than any knife. We felt anger, yes, but also a cold, strategic clarity. Panic was no longer our guide. Meticulous calculation was. We began gathering evidence in secret, documenting everything. Every call, every message, every suspicious movement. Security cameras became our eyes when we couldn't be in the room. Phones, documents, emails, they all became pieces of a puzzle, slowly revealing the true picture. Each day, as we dug deeper, the story became darker, more intricate. The family member we had loved, we realized, had a history, a past filled with manipulations, scams, and deceit. They were not new to this game. This was not the first time they had plotted, lied, and executed schemes like this. We were just the latest victims who hadn't yet realized the trap. As the net tightened, I felt a surge of determination I hadn't known I possessed. We weren't just protecting ourselves anymore. We were exposing a systematic predator, someone who had perfected the art of betrayal. The accomplice tried to make mistakes, leaving breadcrumbs of truth. A bank transfer here, a misdirected email there, a tiny slip in tone that revealed a hidden agenda. And we caught them all. Finally, after weeks of patient, meticulous work, we had the evidence, the irrefutable proof that would take them down. We approached the authorities, presenting our case. The court proceedings were tense, emotionally exhausting. Every session felt like a battle between our fear and our resolve. But in the end, justice prevailed. The perpetrators were held accountable, and their web of deceit unraveled publicly. The relief was immense, but the emotional scars lingered. How could someone so close, someone so loved, attempt to destroy everything? Yet, amidst the chaos and betrayal, there was clarity. We had not only protected ourselves, but we had uncovered a dark pattern, exposing someone who would have hurt countless others if we hadn't acted. The experience forged a bond between us, a shared resilience. We learned the hard truth. Trust must be tempered with awareness, love with vigilance, instinct with reason. And here's the twist that still sends chills down my spine. This scheme, this fraud, was just one chapter in a series of calculated manipulations. The culprit's past was riddled with similar attempts, each carefully concealed until we stumbled upon the pattern. They were professional, cold, and methodical, and yet even the most calculated schemes can be undone by truth, courage, and patience. To those watching, remember this. Panic is the weapon of fraudsters. Calm, reason, and evidence are yours. If a call wakes you in the dead of night, pause. Observe. Verify. Protect yourself before you act. Because sometimes, the greatest danger comes not from strangers, but from those we least expect, and the courage to see through deception can save everything you hold dear. In the end, we survived, stronger, wiser, and more united. And as you close this story tonight, I leave you with a simple wish. May you always trust your instincts, safeguard your loved ones, and never allow deceit to shadow your life. Stay alert, stay vigilant, and above all, stay safe. Thank you for joining me tonight. May your family be protected, your hearts be resilient, and your lives be filled with love that cannot be manipulated.